Hey everyone, it's Colin. How's it going? It used to be that if you bought an inexpensive tablet, you'd get, well, a piece of junk. They've traditionally been small, slow, poorly made, and buggy. Amazon made some headlines in September 2015, though, when it announced its own low-price tablet. As I'm filming this, it's been a few months on, and some software updates have been released. I think it's time to give it a proper review. So let's see how Amazon's 7-inch Fire tablet holds up, given that it's only $50. First impressions, as they say, are everything, and the Fire tablet's packaging doesn't do it any favors. It's simple paperboard, pretty flimsy, and everything inside rattles around when you shake it. You almost wonder if the thing may have gotten damaged in shipping even before you open it. There's not much inside. Other than the tablet itself, it's really just the AC adapter and micro USB cable. I'm surprised they even bothered to include these accessories given the price and the fact that pretty much everyone has at least one USB charger already, but they're welcome nonetheless. Once you get past the packaging though, the experience turns oddly positive. The Fire tablet feels solid, it's got a decent weight to it, and even though the back is made of plastic, it doesn't come across as cheap. The display is pretty low resolution, 1024 by 600, and it seems like you're always fighting fingerprints on the glass screen cover. But in a 7-inch screen, it doesn't seem too pixelated, and what's more, that screen is an IPS panel, so it's got good color saturation and viewing angles. Not bad for a tablet that costs only $50. What's also not bad is the performance. It's got a quad-core processor and a gig of RAM, and while it may not be a speed demon, it certainly is fast enough to get out of its own way. The UI is generally smooth and responsive, apps load relatively quickly, and it's even capable of playing games without dropping frames. The 802.11n Wi-Fi radio may not be cutting edge, but it does get the job done, and Amazon even includes Bluetooth for things like wireless headphones. Now the tablet does have a pair of built-in cameras, but the quality is such that, well, you'll want to use them for video calls and not much else. Battery life is fair but not amazing. Amazon says you'll get 7 hours while watching videos or surfing the web, but fire up anything processor intensive and you can watch the battery gauge tick down. Standby time though is pretty good. I charged mine up to 100%, then left it in standby for a week, and it only drained to about 80%. Keep in mind that the tablet is still doing stuff in the background, like downloading new ads to show on the lock screen. So it's clear that Amazon has put some serious engineering resources into optimizing things. And something else they've optimized, or at least customized, is the UI. The Fire tablet runs on Android, but not a lot of it comes through. The home screen, app store, settings panel, they're all unique to Amazon's tablets, but they're still pretty intuitive. What's bigger than the customization is the relative lack thereof, in that the Google Play Store and standard Android apps like Gmail are notably absent. It ships with a number of Amazon branded apps for music, movies, and books, and so on, but it's really clear that this is a device mostly meant for staying in the Amazon ecosystem. If you have a Prime membership, this would be a great companion for it, especially since it only costs $50. Apps then need to be downloaded from Amazon's own App Store. A major selling point of the tablet is the inclusion of Amazon Underground, which is basically a section of the App Store where everything is free. The skeptic in me immediately thought it must be filled with junkware and clone apps. But it's not. There are real recognizable apps and games in there, like Goat Simulator, Monument Valley, and a number of Disney games. And what's more, all of the in-app purchases are free too. It's still missing some apps you may be expecting, like YouTube and Google Docs, but Facebook, Netflix, and Hulu are just a download away. Out of the box though, you won't want to go too crazy downloading apps and content. The Fire tablet ships with 8 gigs of storage, and you only get to use about 5 of it. Thankfully, there's a microSD card slot, and it'll support up to a 128 gig card. That small amount of built-in storage is clearly a way of cutting costs, and something else Amazon does is to run ads on the lock screen. They're full screen, but seem to be only static images and aren't really that intrusive. You can pay an extra $15 to get rid of them, but I'm not sure it's worth it when the device itself is only $50. I'd put that towards a microSD card instead. Considering everything that's packed into the tablet, it's pretty doubtful that lock screen ads alone are enough to get Amazon to turn a profit on the device. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they're being sold at a loss, but I think that's really part of the strategy. It's a very tight ecosystem, even tighter than Apple's App Store, and Amazon is seemingly trying to subsidize the tablet with it, directly or not. Some of it's obvious, like the ads and tie-ins to Prime. Some isn't so obvious though, like the fact that Amazon's Silk browser is the only one available for the device, so your surfing habits can be tracked and more relevant ads served up. So who is the Fire tablet for? If you're looking for a tablet that you expect to use all day, every day, you may find that this one just isn't feature-rich enough. But if you want a second tablet, like for goofing off with during your lunch break, it's hard to argue with the price. And it's even more compelling purchase for a parent, considering it's got family controls built in so your kids don't end up buying everything. No matter who you are though, if you're in the market for a tablet, you may want to give the Fire a shot. You really don't have much to lose because, after all, it's only $50. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, that helps me out quite a bit. And follow me on Twitter at thisdoesnotcomp. And, as always, thanks for watching.